What have we done? Yeah, that's right. What have we done to our pickup body styles? I'm the kind of guy that the trucks I like are 1996 and older. And I'm more of a Ford guy than anything. And so is my dad. And up until 2 years ago, all we ever had was boxy trucks. Actually, in my lifetime, the only truck we ever had was 1996 Ford F-150 XLT. And it was the highest end of the time. It was. I'm not trying to brag and say, oh, we're all this or that, because it really was not. At its time, it was the nicest one. And when we sold it, we had our the third engine in it, because we loved that thing. And we bought this truck in 2007. This is a 2006 Ford F-150 XLT. The 1996 had 2 doors, and then it ended right past the door, and there was a window there. It did not have what they call suicide doors, which are, if you look on the older Tundras, where a door opens here, and then you reach in, or there's a handle on the outside and another door opens. It didn't have those. You had to move the seat forward, and it was all manual. And I'll tell you, that thing was as boxy as you could get. And that's why I liked it. That's why we liked it. Now, my mom was it was no skin off her nose, but I guess trucks are kind of a guy thing. Even though around here a lot of girls drive trucks. So, I mean, whatever. So these are the same model, except this one says XLT Triton, or Triton, and that one didn't. It was just, it was just XLT straight, regular truck. And, sorry, I'll be right back. I don't care if you see the license plate. Anyway, sorry, that was my uncle. But beyond that, this truck has 178,000 miles on it, and it's held up really well. And I like this truck a lot, but I don't get the same feeling that I did in that 96. Now, we do have another boxy car. This is my dad's main car. That's our camping vehicle. The reason why it's yellow is it was a service truck. And he bought this to be his truck when the 96 was a service truck. They were both service trucks he bought this when I was maybe 3. They were both service trucks up until I was 5. And this stayed a service truck. And the 96 was off and on a service truck. He took the logos off and not made it a service truck, but just put the magnetic decals on it for our camper business that didn't take off. Anyway, I did put a really cool little built Ford Tough thing from Walmart. Another thing is, on the 96, the Ford logos were covered in some sort of sealant, and they were also made out of plastic. These are aluminum, and the paint didn't stick, and that's the underside. I tried to go over them with blue, and that just fell off. See where I was painting it, screwed up that. Didn't get anything out of it either. It looks horrible. Looks worse than it did before I started. 178,000. 850.8 miles. Sorry about the mess. I told him to clean it up before I made the video. This is loose. This sunglass. Now the 96 didn't have this, but it's no skin off my nose. I don't wear sunglasses. You can see it's coming down. This light doesn't work at all. Tried so many times to get it back up. does have a dome light there. This was the base model. And when I told him this was an XLT, he looked at me like I was said that I saw a pink elephant fly over. Because this is nowhere near as nice as that one was. That one had all the nice stuff. This one, and it rode a lot smoother. And again, I do like this truck, alright. But the 96, this pales in comparison. Also, what's kind of funny is the manual in this thing is so obviously photoshopped, and I think they all probably are. It is a nice memory foam on the outside. In the 96, it was nice, pretty leather. See how photoshopped that is. And we do maintenance this by the book. So it's also got holes in this because when I was little, he put a TV on it, and the glove box is not deep at all, or the center console. But anyway, he drilled holes to put a TV on. Because my mom's car was a Cadillac, 2007 Cadillac. She had it up until December of 2017. Actually, we still have it, but it crapped out, and I bought it for $10. So I have it. And she bought that Rendezvous in January of this year. It's a Buick Rendezvous 2007 CXL. This is our third Rendezvous. We had two before the Cadillac, then we got the Cadillac, then we got the Rendezvous. And the Rendezvous before, one of them my aunt has, is the 03 that I reviewed. And we still have the 06 as a janitorial car. And when that became a janitorial car, the Cadillac is when we got the Cadillac. And the 03 Rendezvous was a janitorial car, and then we needed two. So, anyway. So, then it became an estimate car. And then we changed that to the Mini. But anyway, all that aside, that bench seat in the back. And one thing, well, let's change. This does open. And I'm gonna put let me show you something, sorry. So, it does have a bench seat. And for a middle bench seat, this actually isn't all that bad. I also want you to pay attention to the steering wheel. Notice this box. And remember the time. Check the time right now and screenshot it or something. Because when I get to the picture of the 96 steering wheel, screenshot that and compare the two. Because I have pictures of that old truck. Here's the speedometer and tachometer and your oil pressure or your oil gauge, whether or not you need to fill it, battery, gas, and coolant, I think is what this one up here is. Also, in the 96, the air vents were squared, and they were a lot better, and I will show you why. This one is used the least. It still works just right. He never really messes with this one, so it stays about like that. Notice how they move in sequence. Let's check the other three. Brace yourself for this masterpiece of a broken AC vent. Put this back on. And if you're wondering what the original color it was this brown, silvery brown, a lot prettier than yellow. There you go. I've got pictures of that too, so if I remember, I'll show you. Truck bed's pretty basic. I know the higher end ones had Ford on that, and I know they make them where you can put that, but also the tailgate's all dented up. Looks like someone hit it with a sledgehammer. That's from hitting trailer hitches. Is this locked? I didn't know this locked. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it can't lock. And here's the bed liner. This is the stock bed liner that Ford put on, which is better than the, well, I don't remember if the 96 had it or not. But I know that Jimmy's Bicentennial never had it, and that was a 76. When it had a camper shell on it, this controls a little light that was installed in the camper shell that you could wire in with these pigtails. And I don't know whose bright idea it was to put the toggle switch in the bed of a pickup. They need to put something more durable. And why put it right here? They should have put it back in this corner and put a diagram of where it was, because this is all dented up, and you can see how much that moves. And these are the little gauges that say on and off. See, there's on. And on is actually written in red, and off is in black. So, that's weird. Also, whoever painted this thing when it became... And also, there is not a... Before I say the paint, there is not a sealant like this missing here, because this never had a sealant. It's not supposed to. It looks freaking weird, and it doesn't look appropriate. Paint's bubbling up. It's not rust, because if it were rust, obviously under the paint there'd be rust. Instead, there's the stock brown. And also, because the 96 was an XLT, it was two-tone. It was a lot brighter brown than this, and it was white down the center. And it had the little chrome strips. But when he painted that yellow, he had him take all of that, stuff off, because you don't need it in a service truck. Rendezvous. Alright, so, why am I taking you back here? And yes, there's probably gonna be a dog barking. This is the camper shell that was on it. I am not going to lie. The camper shell did not make it look any better. And I did get a certain feeling that I never got after we sold the 96 when he took this piece of trash off. It did have all my stickers on it, though. There's where he bought it at. Life Now, Work Later, Big Bend National Park. It's been sitting here so long, the thing is frozen. Actually. Forget that. Windows. Obviously, here's where it attached to the truck. Sealant's gone. Guess there's the original brown on that. Alright, so now what we're gonna... Sorry, blur that out. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to show you the pictures that I promised. Oh, and one other thing. Notice how these wheels are pancake flat. Here's the hubcap off of the 96. I did get one of them. The wheels on that one went in. They were really cool. These are just flat. I mean, they do have the pretty whatever color paint, but they're flat. And on that one, it had class. Obviously, on this one, if you put that on, it looks really weird, and it'd crash into things and break. So, I guess the mirror is no exception, but anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the pictures of the old truck. And this one when it was brown. Here's a picture of that from 2009. It was only a few years old when this picture was taken. And that's the pretty brown color that it was. And here's a picture of that old one that was taken on August 22nd or 27th of 2014. And there is the 96 sitting in our driveway, as well as the Jeep and a bike. So, anyway, if you pay attention, you can see it's got vent windows, which I miss, the boxy design, which I miss. It does curve a little bit forward right there, and you can see the wheels, how they don't pancake. They are definitely a better looking truck in my opinion. Look at that fan. Look at the blades on that thing. God. Here's a picture of that truck when it was still saddle brown and white. And it did not have a big dent right there. That is actually the picture. I can feel it. So that's actually a dent in the paper. And there's a camper shell. It's not the same one. And there's a riding mower that we still have. And there's my mom's old Pontiac. So this was taken in 1997. And just for fun, here's a picture of my dad with his old blue Chevrolet that he had. Chevrolet Cheyenne from 1971. But this was taken in the early 80s. Or late 80s, early 90s. Anyway, thought I'd show you that. I was only 8 years old when I took this video, so you can hear me yelling because what little kid doesn't yell? And yes, 8 years old is pretty little. So, here is just a video that I took. We were at McDonald's, so you'll hear him ordering in the background. So, I'm just going to show you this video, and I'm going to pause it at moments that are important.
Sorry, there's just one bad pants.
Are you okay, Jacob?
Yeah.
We can't go to student.
Can you just don't say anything, alright? I didn't know it was recording a minute ago, sorry. Anyway, here's the steering wheel. You can see that giant boxy airbag, just like on the pickup, except that one's a lot larger, and the Ford logo is off to the side. On the other side it says SRS, which I'm assuming stands for series.
Two Happy Meals?
One.
One of the air vents in that was broken, but you can see they look a lot harder to break. Also, they're from 1996, so the quality was probably a bit better. Radio, climate controls, bench seats in the front and back. Also, pay attention to this little black trim that I'm running my finger on. It went all the way to the end of the inside there, where the trim went back down, where the window was, and it had XLT engraved, or it wasn't engraved, but it was molded into it. So anyway, there you go. Thank you for watching this Good Morning World video. And I just thought I'd put this out there. I'm not hating on modern trucks. I don't think that anybody has made a bad truck. I also am not hating on curvy cars. I do understand that they don't make two-tones anymore because it does cost a lot of money. And it would be a lot more profitable to have one-tones, and actually not very few, but a lot more 96 pickups were one-tone than two-tone. And there are certain curvy cars that I don't mind. As you know, I know that 96 is not here for me to like, Oh, look at the water in the taillights. Anyway, that 96 ain't here for me to like, so I've grown to like this one because if I want to like a pickup, this is all I've got to like. I don't mind the curvy in this car. You know, SUVs, sedans. My car is actually going to be a 1996 Mustang Ford. And it's curvy, and I don't mind it. So, certain cars look better curvy, certain cars look better boxy. I will never like curvy trucks as much as I like boxy trucks. Because boxy trucks just have more class to the design, and that I don't like that thing in the window where it goes down at the end, right there, how it goes down a little bit. I'm not a fan of that because it can give you sunburn. In fact, we went on a trip to South Dakota and Wyoming and drove 3,000 miles on that trip, and his arm got really sunburned. So anyway, and hopefully one of these days, years from now, I can buy another 96. They don't run all that expensive. Don't think I'll ever get another Saddle Brown XLT, but you know what? Times change and can't be living in the past, can you? Think certain things come and certain things go, and all good things have to come to an end. And having the camper shell off this and having this Jeep that is boxy have helped a lot. You know, I get a lot less stressed about it because I do have a boxy design here on the Jeep. In fact, this is more boxy than a 96, and it does have vent windows. I'm going to show you Jeep style vent windows. This is a Jeep vent window. This is a Jeep full down window. Hybrid. And this is an 89. So, inside's actually pretty similar to the 96 too. Got the boxy design, radio, climate controls, boxy air vents. So, guess it ain't that bad. And it's a 2-door with a back seat. So, anyway, there's my opinion, basically. Post in the comments, like and subscribe. We're really trying to expand because right now we ain't doing so hot with our videos. Do have a few subscribers. So anyway, make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate it. But I've been really working hard trying to get this channel to grow and become something that is truly something to take time to watch. And I appreciate those of you who do. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.